We're Faking Sanity. I'm Lou, or Ange.
I'm Cindy.
And we run a shop called Faking Sanity in Dawson Creek, BC, which is a used bookstore / yarn shop / coffee and tea shop.
A little of everything.
Yeah.
/ gift shop.
Yep. A lot of the stuff we make, handmade soaps and lotions and jewelry and...
Yes. Little of everything.
Yeah.
And we're crazy.
She is. I'm normal.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
She's a vampire.
I'm not a vampire. I just hate the sun.
She's a vampire.
Thanks for joining us. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And we're a knitting podcast.
Really, we are.
So let's get into
knitting and stuff.
Knitting, well, and spinning. There's going to be a lot more spinning now.
And what's it called? Reading.
Yes.
And TV watching. And that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Culture consumed. We talk about it at the end.
So let's jump into
knitting?
some knitting whips.
Actually, crocheting.
Crochet. Yeah.
Okay, so last week I showed you about a foot of blanket.
No, I think, yeah, maybe a foot.
You said about 15 inches.
She just got zapped. It's very dry here.
No, I did get zapped, but I was just trying to stretch. It's taller than me.
It's
it's a double width.
It's about 6 feet tall now, I'd say.
So I am done. Well, I was actually gonna show this. Oh, it's caught. Oh, it's caught.
She stepped on it.
I was gonna show this as a finished object, but then I decided to...
Are you just doing a crab stitch? Or?
No, it's a...
She can't find the border she started.
I'm doing a double crochet.
There you go.
No, that's not it. Anyway, I decided to do a border down the side. It must be this side. Yep. Decided to do a border down the side.
We're pros.
We are. My chair won't move. Okay, I decided to do a border down the side, but then I have to weave in all the ends.
Yeah.
To do that, so I'm working on it.
So yeah, and then it'll be the same on all four sides.
Exactly. Like... And this blanket was going to be for me, but my sister has been
hinting loudly.
Hinting? I don't think hinting is the word. Declaring that she would really, really love it.
Yes.
And it took me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I love crochet.
It's so fast.
So
your sister hinted in the same way my mom did.
Yeah.
After our last podcast, my mom was like, so that bag you showed was really nice. Hint, hint. Like, literally wrote hint, hint.
Yes.
Like,
so,
yeah.
This is the Granny Stripe blanket by Lucy of Attic 24. In a whole lot of different acrylics.
Which is perfect for your sister.
Yes.
Like, they have a dog, and she can just throw it in the washer. And
yeah, so I think this will be a Christmas gift. And that's cool, because we're having some problems ordering Christmas gifts. We live way north, so we tend to, everyone up here shops online. But Canada Post is striking.
Yay!
And they've asked all international postal services to stop sending stuff to Canada.
Yeah.
So
stuff is still getting through. There's just they're trying to
they're doing a rotating strike.
Yeah.
So
it's like a day in each city that they do.
But they've got quite a backlog now. So we have no idea if things will get here by Christmas.
Yeah. They will get here.
Just not necessarily by Christmas. So this I can give to her, and maybe some of the stuff that we'd already bought. My mom can, because Mom usually orders a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I had bought something that I thought your mom might want to buy off me too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, my blankie, I love it, and I'm going to make another one. I've offered one for her.
I joked around that, you know, if she was looking for someone to give it to, I'd love it. And she's like, really?
I have lots more, and I need to use up this acrylic. So yeah, so I'm thinking one for her and then one for me. Possibly one.
I love crocheted blankets. And
yeah.
Acrylic, which sounds weird, but in the winter, it doesn't breathe, which is fabulous when you're cold and you put it on as the top layer above your blanket. It's so cozy. And then it's acrylic, so you can throw it literally in the washing machine.
And dryer.
And the dryer.
Yeah. I do really like that. Cause,
I don't love it for clothing necessarily, but every blanket I've made that I've loved to death has been acrylic.
Well, and like, much as I would love to make a beautiful, like, heirloom blanket out of wool kind of thing, I'm rough on my stuff.
You are. And you have sandpaper hands.
And I have sandpaper hands.
She shreds the wool. Ew. Did you hear that? Like, it sounds like Velcro grabbing. That's what our fat hands feel like.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this. I'm not a yarn snob, obviously. I mean, I love pretty yarn.
Yeah.
But I can totally see the uses of acrylic. I use it for blankets and amigurumi.
Yeah.
So, it's not that cold here, but I'm cold. So, I'm going to wrap up in my blankie. Okay, you talk about your thing.
It's quite cold here.
Oh.
I have bad circulation.
Oh, her evil icicle hands.
They actually aren't even that bad
icicle
right
hands. Now. Icicle hands. Okay, we're not crazy.
This one's cold. This one's not. This is the one I touched her neck with.
Icicle hands.
Here. Yeah. Oh, nope. Nope.
We're not 12. No.
She has Coke. I'm drinking our chai. I like our chai.
You started up the machine or you did an iced chai?
No, just cold chai.
Oh, okay.
Iced chai latte with no ice. And I'm working on my PhD. Project's half done.
Which leads you to your whip.
Oh, yes. I was going to talk about my mitts. So you've seen this one before. It's Ellie's Selbu Mitten from Skeindeer. It fits Cindy perfectly, as you've heard.
And she said she's going to give it to me.
And I've just started the color work on the second one. I'm starting the second row right now.
That's so pretty.
It fits her perfectly, which is odd because she has weird shaped hands.
No, I have normal shaped hands.
Well, okay.
They're just really short and stubby. Like any mitts I buy from
she can fold them over.
I just fold over and they're useless because when your thumb sticks out to here, it's like you try to do anything. Yeah, so this fits me perfectly.
It does. Oddly. And it feels like I took her measurements.
This is the perfect thumb gusset and fit for me.
Yeah. Whereas for me, the mitt comes up to about here and all this is just gappy space where the thumb isn't long enough, but also it's too tight in here because I would need probably about twice as much.
Look at her.
Yeah, my thumbs are just meatier.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I've talked about a pattern, I think, on here, maybe once before, maybe not, called, I didn't write this one down.
Chicken thumb.
I think it's,
look it up?
I think I have chicken thumbs, but I forget. She's going to look it up while I show you. So I have chicken thumbs. They're big, and it's called that because it looks like a drumstick, like it's really meaty here. And it just, basically, if your hand gets really wide right at the base of your thumb, often a traditional gusset isn't quite enough. And this one, you can actually see in the mitten, it sort of looks like a drumstick shape. It has extra stitches.
It's called Fried Chicken Mittens by Ellen Mason.
There we go. Fried Chicken Mittens. And she has a whole page about the different shapes of thumbs and what type of thumb fits those shapes better. But I tried this and it fits me perfectly. Exactly the same, perfect fit thumb, perfect fit mitts or tip. It fits perfectly. This is exactly where the fingers fit.
Okay. Actually, this doesn't fit me terribly, but even
But you just thought it felt odd. Yeah.
And it's not like her hands are much bigger than mine.
Whereas for mine, if I put my thumb at the end, this is all space where it won't go down to reach the base of my thumb. And you can see my thumb is way over here, the base of the thumb, and the gusset doesn't add enough stitches for it. The base of my thumb is here.
Look at this.
Look. Yeah. I have a very large thumb, apparently. Not the thumb part, but the gusset part. So there's a moth flying around. Oh, well. So if you see Cindy freak out, just roll with it. Because she freaked out when...
That's a massive moth. It's just when they land on me. They're freaky.
When they landed near you or on the land beside you, you also freaked out.
Okay.
Anyway, so I think I'm going to do the next set, because I signed up for Ellie's Mitten Club. So I'm going to finish this mitten. And then this is a revival. The reason I'm showing it is to show how well it fits and that I really want to finish these because I made them, I think, 4 years ago.
Oh, at least.
And all it's missing
is the thumb.
Is about 100 stitches.
Yeah.
On the left stitch.
That would not take you long at all.
So it'd be like 10-15 minutes to finish it, and then another 5 to weave in the ends. So I need to finish this, and I'd have some pretty mittens
that match your hat, right? You have a hat that matches this?
No, I think I gave away the hat.
Oh, okay.
I did make a hat out of the same yarn though, but yeah, I have a little ball left with the yarn to finish the thumb. It like points up because it's so loose on you.
It's a platypus. Platypus sock. No, not sock. Mitt.
Why is that a platypus?
I don't know. Okay, so anyway, she's gonna finish.
I'm gonna finish the mitt.
She's gonna finish them by next podcast.
So it's not a whip lucky dip, but
because there's no dip.
Because there's no dip, but it
well.
is. She's mean, but I am gonna finish these for the next podcast.
Sure.
And you can sort of believe that because I showed these last week.
Yes.
And I finished them. So
she left the 2 different heels.
I did. I decided I don't want to reknit them. And they'd be fabulous bed socks. And I think as bed socks, it won't matter to me that they're 2 different heels.
You
and it's
try
super
wearing
comfy.
them during the day.
I'm not sure.
No.
I could wrap my head around it. But they'll be fabulous. I always wear socks to bed because I have cold feet.
That is so weird.
Bad circulation.
The first thing I do when I get home is take off my socks and change into my PJs.
Yeah, no, I often pull off my regular socks and put on my knit ones. But yeah, so that's my whip. I will finish it soon.
Stop banging the table.
No.
It makes you bounce.
Do you want a bouncy ride? Sorry. Crazy. So we were really sick this past week, and I'm starting to finally feel better. Like, I still sound horrible, but I'm starting to finally feel better, so I'm extra crazy, I think.
Yeah.
But I will finish these for the next podcast. You can hold me to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hold you to it.
Ow.
Did you just stab yourself with, well, my finger?
No, just my shoulder doesn't like that angle.
Okay, so my next whip. I have all of these like big projects, like my cabled shawl and my sweater. No, all I was in the mood to work on was this. That's why I got so much done.
You did get a lot.
But I did start a couple other little projects because I could no longer carry this to knit night. Yeah. It was a little non-portable.
Have you weighed it yet?
No, not yet. Because we don't have a scale that will weigh it.
Well, we have a scale that'll go high enough in weight, but not one that's big enough to hold it.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is go to Mom's, step on the scale myself, and then step on the scale with the blanket.
I guess about a couple of pounds.
Yeah, at least. Anyway, so I started another little hat. So last time I had a finished hat of this same yarn. It's the Northbound.
You didn't write it down?
It's right here. It's either Northward or Northbound. Northward. Northward by Tincanknits. And the yarn is Malabrigo Chunky. So I made an adult size one. And
this is the cedar colorway?
No, it's Verde.
Oh, Verde was lighter than this.
Not in the chunky.
It's Verde, apparently.
Excuse me.
Or she's crazy and wrong.
Which is more likely of us to remember a yarn?
You.
Okay. So, I did a adult hat. Actually, quite a long adult hat. I made gnome face with it.
Which amused Rebecca.
Yes.
One of our Knit Night ladies asked to, like, found it on the podcast again to show it to the Knit Night ladies.
Yeah.
The other Knit Night ladies. Yeah.
Yeah. I made an adult one. It needed a bit more than 1 ball of yarn. So I decided to do a matching kid one.
That'll be so cute.
Yeah, it's such a great cabled hat. I mean, all I've got right now is a ribbed brim, but it was, I love chunky stuff. It was 4 rows of, well, they called for 3. I did 4 because I didn't have the needles to switch to the larger size. It takes so little time to make a chunky hat. I love it. So that's my quick project. I always like to have a little project in my,
quick like a bunny.
In my purse.
In your purse?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my hat. You're onto that.
I also, because, you know, I'm making such quick progress with all my existing whips, I decided it was time to start a new one. We got some new yarn in at the store. And for anybody who's wondering, because of the aforementioned Canada Post strike, we're not adding anything new to the Etsy shop right now. So those of you who've asked about the bags we showed they'll show up once the Canada Post issue is resolved. But they're appointing an arbitrator this week.
We'll see.
So
it's Canada Post.
but this is the new yarn I got.
So pretty.
And
she stole all of the one color.
We got 4 skeins of this one color. And I just loved it.
I want it.
So it's teal down to there is a better representation of the color. It's a dark tealy green to almost black. And I would wear that to death. Like, it's totally me.
Yes.
So I spent, after I spent 3 or 4 days in bed and couldn't do anything, I spent 3 or 4 days on Ravelry looking for sweater patterns.
Yeah.
So I swatched. I decided to knit
right there.
Knit Me Baby One More Time by Marie Annarella.
Nope, Mary.
No, by Mary Annarella. And I did my usual, like, swatch for in the round by just carrying the yarn across and sliding to the other end of your needle. But I really like the fabric that makes, and the color is just to die for.
It is so pretty.
It's really subtle, and in the dark it looks almost black, but then it catches all these glimpses of the green, and just love it. So it's just a basic like stockinette sweater with a crew neck, but it's got the contiguous method for the shoulders. So it's basically a set in knit as you go shoulder cap. And then once you get to the armpit and connecting all the 4, like front, back, and the 2 arms, then you put your sleeves on hold and knit them at the end, or put the sweater on hold and knit the sleeves. But I really like the fit of a set-in sleeve, so I thought I would give that a try. And I really love this fabric and this color. Oh, look, I have a green nose.
You have a nose warmer.
I have a nose warmer.
A nose warmer.
Yeah. I changed sizes a couple of times through here. That's why the fabric looks really wonky at the bottom, but I think I like this one. And I get the exact row gauge for the pattern and a little looser than the pattern gauge or stitch gauge. But that means I'll have about a 1/2 inch or an inch
positive ease
of extra positive ease. Yeah. It calls for about 2, and this will give me between 2.5 and 3. So I think that'll be good.
And this yarn, it's a new base for us. So it's some of the stuff that Mineville dyes for us.
Yeah.
And it is a heavy fingering to sport weight. I'd say sport weight.
I'd say sport. It's 350 yards
per 120 grams. So we've called this base Determination. We're just in the middle of naming all of the colorways, because that's what we do.
I didn't bring the tag for that one.
Sorry.
That one was...
What, 9010? Is that
no,
what
I mean the colorway name.
We hadn't named this one because you were taking it all.
Oh yeah, we didn't bother to name it. I didn't care about a name. I just wanted to steal.
Yeah, so we get all our yarn and then we name them after books and come up with quotes for them because we're nerds. Yeah. And yes, but it's a really nice base. I have ideas. I think I might do a double knit scarf out of it.
Are you going to do that piano?
Piano number 2.
Piano number 2
to the 1
is the fingering, yeah.
No, not the fingering one.
To...
I'm doing the DK one, but in a sport weight.
Yeah, because it's a massive scarf.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm excited about that.
So,
but
Peano is a scarf by Nathan Taylor, who's the Sock-ception. He has a really cool...
Yeah, and it's mathematical, and I really love it. Because I feel kind of confident about doing double knitting, because I'm doing Sockception. Okay, so this is a pattern by Tara Bogh, B-O-G-H, and it's called Sockception, and it's how to knit 2 socks at the same time
via double knitting.
So yeah, so I'm knitting, and I'm doing 2 different colors. I'm doing mini socks. That hopefully is obvious. I thought I would try it first with mini socks, and I'm doing 2 different colors so that it's really obvious which
stitch belongs to which.
Goes with which. It's more obvious when I've got the red in this out, but yeah. And I was like, oh, can I do this?
So are you knitting it one inside the other like that, or are you pulling it the opposite way and doing them side by side?
It tends to work better when I knit like this, and then you just pull it out to
to check or flip around.
Yeah. I did, on my first row, I did accidentally twist the yarns, which would mean they were connected mini socks, so I had to go back. But other than that, I haven't had any problems.
And you're coming up on the heel now, right?
Yeah, I'm about to start the heel, and it's a new heel to me. It's called the Flegel heel. So yeah, I have to look into that. But it's really, really interesting because what's considered the front sock. So for every stitch you knit on the front sock, you're purling a stitch on the back sock.
Which is the green sock for her.
Yeah, which is the inside sock. But because normal people, their purl is much looser than their knit.
Yes, most people purling is looser. Well, most people who knit English or continental, the purl is looser.
Yes. So to try to get them at the same gauge, you actually do what is called an Eastern uncrossed knitting for the back, for the inside sock. I don't know. She uses front and back. I kind of like outside and inside. But, which means that the stitches are oriented a different way and you wrap your yarn the opposite way. And that
basically, the stitch is twisted, like it's mounted twisted on the needle. So you wrap the yarn backwards to
Well, it's not twisted, it's just mounted the other direction. It's not, anyway, it's just a different way of knitting. And the Eastern purl is supposedly closer in gauge to the Western knit. So that's why she does that. She calls for it in the pattern. Now I found, because I'm a little strange.
You are.
My Eastern purl is actually tighter than my knit.
Yeah, a lot.
Which I'm so glad I'm doing mini socks first.
Yeah.
So I think I will try this again, just doing regular knit and purl, because my purl is quite tight.
Yeah, I was going to say, your purl is strangely tight.
I think they might actually be closer.
I
might even, after the heel, I might remount all the, like, every second stitch and try it for the foot, because like, who cares, it's a mini sock, right?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I'm getting 2 socks at the same time.
So basically, she didn't mention this, but the 2 at a time, so you knit one one stitch of the first sock,
yeah,
and then 1 stitch of the second sock, and then the next stitch of the first sock and the next stitch of the second sock. So you're working both at the same time, 1 stitch at a time. Like,
it's basically the same technique as double knitting, except you never cross your yarns. Double knitting will usually cross yarns and use opposite colors on the other sides and things like that. But this, you never cross it, or else your socks will be connected which is not all that useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really excited. I've got to take a picture and go on. Tara has a Ravelry group.
Yes.
All about Sockception. And people, I was reading a bunch of the posts, and people were showing off their different Sockceptions, and it's just really cute.
Yeah, very cool.
It is very cool. So I don't know that I'll do a full sock this way. I might. Not sure. But it made me very, very confident about color work. So technically this is color work.
I'm not letting you off the hook.
Well, it is. I'm not going to finish a whole scarf before
you got to start.
Okay.
Okay.
But it is color work. I am using 2 different colors.
But in 2 different objects. We talked about 2
you said it would be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
you're working with both yarns
I'm
on the
working
same
with both
row.
yarns on the same yarn. Yeah. It is so strange.
You don't get color work in the end, but you're knitting it with a color work technique.
Exactly.
So
and
I'm fine with that.
So Lou got me one of those rings.
It's a color work thimble.
Yeah. I haven't gotten it to work yet.
I found it less useful than just
I'm
tensioning it.
I'm gonna try. But I just used 1 yarn, dropped it, used the other yarn. I know a lot of people, including her, do 1 yarn in each hand.
Yeah.
But I never learned how to knit English. And when I do it, my tension is horrendous. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Whereas I started with English and switched continental just because my knees hurt.
And You have to explain.
That's a totally normal statement,
no,
right?
You have to explain how your knees hurt from knitting.
Everybody's knees hurt from knitting when you knit English. You just never did it, so you don't know. So when I learned to knit, I knit on straights. And I don't know if I did this when I was a little kid and my grandma tried to teach me, but when I took the knitting class in like 2006 or whatever in Calgary, I was knitting on straights, but I had a hard time holding the needles while I wrapped, like holding both needles while I wrapped. So I had really long straights, so I just tucked them. So French, like in France, common thing is to use a long one and tuck it under your armpit. I didn't know that, but I figured that if I put this is a really narrow chair. If I put my knee up like this, I could shove the needle right here and use my elbow. And yeah, but I have bad knees, so my knees would get sore if I knit for more than 15 or 20 minutes.
So strange.
So I switched to continental knitting to save my knees. Yeah.
So the other thing,
totally normal.
When I knit, the yarn gets really twisted. It happens to some people and it doesn't happen to other people. I don't know why. So normally I will just hold the ball of yarn and let the project spin around and untwist the yarn. Can't really do that when there's two yarns and they're twisted opposite directions. Yes. So she said I should show this little technique I did. So my yarn is really twisty here. So what I did is I actually put a darning needle through to hold the yarn attached on the ball, and then I can hold the ball and it will spin and untwist my yarn. So especially if you do hand wound balls, this is great, because then if you didn't have the needle, the ball would just fall and unwind. Yeah, and so now but it is untwisted. And, so yeah, that was my. I was like, oh, I just figured it out
brilliant.
Today.
And she's like, it's because I'm brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks for being so smug. You should show that on the podcast.
So you know, that's a tip of the day. Yeah.
I find that the little tips like that, like you're never going to teach that in class, because it's not a technique. It's just oh, this works well.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah. So your next project.
Oh, 40 Shades of Green. This one. That's this one.
Right in front
I was like, but it's not green. I don't have green.
Yes, it's not green.
Sorry, getting over the flu. So this one I cast on last night. Like, we got home last night late, and I did the swatch for this. After.
It wasn't late.
Well, later.
It's 7.
Oh, by the time I got out of the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Wow, TMI.
Sorry. I wanted to knit a pattern out of this yarn, which is
pretty yarn.
Yarn Indulgences, ZMCN, Z Worsted MCN. And it's this beautiful colorway. It's called Antler. And
it's called Grizzly.
This one's Antler.
No, it's not.
My label says
right
Antler.
Over there. It's Grizzly. Antler is the Tosh. Isn't it? Okay, I'll get the yarn. You keep talking about your project.
Okay, anyway. It's beautiful. It's super squishy.
I'm caught.
I wish you could have seen that. It's super squishy, it's super soft and luxurious. And we had 2 balls left that had been in the store for a while, and we don't, of this color, we had 2 balls. And it hadn't been selling, and we got in a bunch of new yarn and needed the space, and Cindy was wondering where to put these, and I was like, let's just put them in our stashes. So, oh, fine, it's Grizzly. So this is Yarn Indulgences ZMCN in the Grizzly colorway. And it's just, I love it. It's got a bit of blues, a bit of grays, and a whole bunch of browns and taupes. And I'm doing the Blue Brick Designs pattern. So Shireen Nadir, I hope that's how you pronounce it. Sorry, Shireen, if it's not.
It'd be pretty close.
But I'm doing her 40 Shades of Green pattern. You have it on there.
I was going to show it off.
Because this doesn't show it off very well. It's a cowl, and it's basically a little bandana cowl with a big cable along the top, and then moss stitch, like a double moss stitch at the bottom. So yeah, it's going to be so squishy. And then you just seam it or Kitchener it across the back. So this is the back center. That's the kind of narrowest part of the cowl.
Not Kitchener. Not if you cast on.
Oh no, it's mattress stitched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just finished the border and started the cable crossing. So, you know, can't you tell the patterns? Isn't it lovely? But yeah, I think it's going to be fabulous. And I think with the 2 balls, I'm going to knit one for me and then maybe one for a gift or something. Or I'll knit myself a hat with it. Depends how much I fall in love with the cowl.
Oh, you could do like a hat with the same
that as
cable.
the brim, and then pick up the stitches and do a stockinette hat above.
Yeah,
like, wouldn't that be amazing?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Or the moss, double moss above.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it would be pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I may do that. So that's my last whip. It's unimpressive.
Yeah.
Because I just started a bunch of new stuff.
Mine was
week,
pretty unimpressive too.
But I have been knitting despite being in bed for like 4 days. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, Sunday,
and
Monday,
I have,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
yeah. I have some of Cindy's stitch markers. She does chainmail.
Oh, you can barely even see them.
Can I show it if I put it on orange?
Oh, and that's not even like the new ones I do.
So these are the old ones. So this is just
Byzantine.
Byzantine.
Actually, that's Byzantine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's the finer rings than usual. So it's got 3 rings. Normally she does Byzantine, which has 2 rings across everywhere, and
doesn't matter.
It's really lovely. They're light, and the rings are closed really well, and they don't catch on anything.
And someday I'll get them up on Etsy, I promise.
Yeah.
People have asked, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
We're having a hard time keeping up
spare
with
time.
Yeah. Well, especially with the Canada Post strike.
Well, and then we took on a Fibre Fest.
Yeah. But with the Canada Post strike too, more people are buying locally, so we're having a hard time keeping stuff stocked in the store.
Yes, that
especially
is
since
true.
New stuff isn't arriving by mail, so we're having to make more of our stuff.
So her whip leads into my yarn acquisitions because I got 2 skeins of it too. We've been eyeing these skeins for 2.5 years since they came in. And for some reason, these ones just didn't go, and we're like, woohoo! Christmas! Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say, that was your favorite one from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. I might actually have some at home, but I think I resisted. This is marine in that same base.
Yeah.
It's lovely. And this is
I love that
Barrymore, which is,
I love it.
Like, it's so strange because it wouldn't normally be my color because it's got the yellow, but it's got like yellows and greens and blues and
yeah, and it's kind of like a bluey gray at the darkest part.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's just
she does fabulous dyeing.
Amazing dyer. She's in Ontario. Yeah. If you can get your hands, I have rather a lot of her yarn.
Yes,
even from before we carried it.
Yeah, I picked some up at the stash swap.
Yes. Yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them. Most likely.
Oh look, you made a cowl.
I made a cowl. Most likely they'll be hats.
Just stick a shawl pin on it, and
I like hats. And there, perfect,
lovely.
Oh, it does feel so nice. Okay, maybe I should make cowls because there's not a lot of yarn.
Sensitive around your
neck.
neck.
Not a lot of yarn I can wear around my neck.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely skin friendly. Like Princess and the Pea type skin friendly. Yeah. Because she thinks she's a princess.
I'm a princess. I'm a pretty princess. Yeah, no.
We were looking, one of the colorways of the new yarns, I was looking at Princess and the Pea because it was like a bright pea green. And I couldn't find a quote that worked because some of those fables, like they've been retold and retranslated, but like original wording isn't really a thing you have access to.
We found a better name for it.
We did.
Okay. We only, between the 2 of us, we only have 1 FO.
Yeah.
And it's not knitting.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Really? Did I not? No, I finished my socks.
Okay. Her socks don't count. She had to weave in ends.
They only had to have the ends.
You showed them off as FOs last week. They don't count.
Oh, I can't count them twice.
No.
So I finished some spinning. This was the one I showed on the bobbin last week. I think it was the last episode. It is Heavenly Wool's hand spun. So Kate dyes this from New Zealand Halfbred Haunui sheep. It was the one I was all babbly about with having won the ambassadorship program, which I really hope she doesn't withdraw with the Canada Post issues. But I love spinning her stuff. So this is one of her gradients. So it goes from the yellow to the yellowy green to the green, and you can't see there's like a purpley brown that is a transition color between the green and the wine. I just didn't want, oh, there you can see it. So this kind of brownie color transitions between the green and the wine, and it's just beautiful. And this is about 315 yards of sport weight, fingering weight right now. So I have to wash it. It'll probably be about 300 yards of sport weight when I'm done, based on how much I usually lose out of
did I hear it was already sold?
Yes, Janet saw it and said she wanted it. So,
it's very much her colors.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's lovely. I love spinning this stuff. Yeah. It's just, and like, can you pick up on the shine a little bit? Like, it's just wool, but there's a little bit of a sheen to it. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but just, it's a long wool, so that, well, it's partly long wool, and it's just got a nice, like, really nice sheen to it. And her colors are just, oh, there. That's probably a good, yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like not scratchy like merino, but not as likely to pill either because it's a longer wool. So I really love it.
That's cool.
That's my info. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, we do have something to show for Fibre Fest. So it's been going great. Sorry.
Tony the Tiger impression.
Yeah. We have like 2 booths left. We have filled all the others. We have amazing vendors coming.
Yeah.
We just had to finish filling all the vendors, and then we'll start talking about who's coming.
Yeah. If you have applied and haven't heard from us yet, we're trying to wait for the last couple of booths because there's only a couple left. We're going to wait until we have a few more applications in so that we can decide the best, like, whether we want another dyer, or whether we want another person who makes like crochet hooks or knitting needles by hand, or so we're kind of waiting to see what options are available before we fill those last couple of spots. But yeah, I'll put this away now. I'm just
you're just cuddling it. But we have started amassing prizes for at Fibre Fest. We're gonna have some door prizes and things like that, as many Fibre Fest do. But we had a donation. It is this lovely, it's Loft by Brooklyn Tweed. Brooklyn Tweed. It is a 100% American wool grown in Wyoming. Cool. It's fingering weight. So we've got 3 skeins of it. They're each 50 grams. It's a really neat, that's fingering? Wow. Okay, when they say loft, it's
very lofty.
Very lofty. Yeah, like that is 50 grams. And it's like the same size as my hand. Well, not quite, but yeah, I've never even touched this yarn before because I haven't ordered any Brooklyn Tweed at all.
Here's a comparison. She was talking about the Loft. This is my ZMCN worsted. Let me get one strand of this. They're almost the same thickness. Not quite, but that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Super lofty.
Yeah. But it's fingering weight.
Yeah. But you could knit it. It's a natural wool. You could totally knit it at a much higher gauge.
Like it suggests like 3 different gauge weights or gauge ranges. Anyway, yes, it was a donation by Jocelyn Schumann, who is teaching some classes at Fibre Fest.
Yes. She's the one who teaches our beginner knitting classes here so far. Well, and a sock knitting class too.
Yeah. Cables. She didn't actually teach the socks.
Oh, canceled. Cables class.
Yeah, so that's the first part of the prizes. We have many, many more to come.
Yeah.
But we just thought we'd show it off since we had it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all
that's it for Fibre.
Oh, we're still doing cowls.
Yes. So I was so off on the yardage on how close we were to a milestone in the Alberta, or in the Alaska cowl.
Yeah.
So we're still working our way towards Fort Liard. So keep submitting. Liard Hot Springs.
Yep.
I thought the milestone was actually at Fort Liard.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, I'll add this. This will help.
Yes, that will be a fair chunk of change. And there have been some new additions since
Yeah,
our last podcast. There's been some
cool stuff.
Yeah.
And the color work cowl goes till the end of the year.
Yes, there have been a few additions there. Thanks for everybody who's been participating.
Sockception.
Yeah, okay.
Haha. If not, actually, I have plans. I'm gonna do some color work.
Yeah.
Now that I've like done the 2 different yarns at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably start with a cup cozy just because. But yeah, I like this blanket.
I noticed.
Maybe I'll keep this one.
It's very much your colors. I mean, it's very much your sister's, but it's very much your colors.
Yeah, but I have a bunch of teal that I can use as well. Teal and
she
gray
does
for me. No, teal for me.
you.
This can go there. Anyway.
That's it for our knitting related content.
Hey, we did 40 minutes of knitting related content.
I was worried we'd have like 20, and then I kept pulling out
more
stuff and going,
yeah.
oh no, there is a
forgot
little
about
more.
this. Forgot about this.
But so if you're here just for the knitting, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week. Next 2 weeks from now. Hopefully with slightly better voices. We don't sound as croaky and nasally.
Flu is evil. Get your flu shot.
Yeah, get your flu shot. If you're asthmatic or anything, get your flu shots. It's nasty this year. I was in bed like up for 20 minutes at a time and had to go back to bed, and up was like sitting in a chair, zoning, staring at the walls. I was not good and couldn't breathe.
So yeah, now we're going to talk about culture consumed.
Yeah.
Which is our, what we read or watched or listened to section of the podcast.
Yes.
And I was really bad. I didn't read much. Actually, I didn't physically read anything this week. Oh, I maybe started something. Oh, my book club meets next week. I got to read that book.
Yeah. You said that 2 nights ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I listened to some books on audiobook, but I've already talked, I listened to another Tamara Pierce, but I talked about her a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah, and I'm just reading on my science book, which I do a little bit in little chunks, so I've talked about it as well.
We did start listening to Going Postal again.
Yes.
We were listening to it on the way to Prince George for the Prince George Fibre Fest in the car.
And that's by Terry Pratchett, who's awesome. I love
Terry Pratchett.
Going Postal and Making Money are my favorites.
You really got to read Raising Steam.
I know, I've got it. I've got an ebook of it.
It wasn't as good as, and I give you access to my audiobook of it too.
Oh, I didn't realize it was in there.
It's on Audible, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Anyway.
Maybe I'll listen to it while I'm knitting or spinning.
Yeah.
Terry Pratchett is so funny. And, actually, one of our new yarns, the colorway is called Going Postal. And there's a quote in it. And we were listening to this podcast this morning while we were knitting. Audiobook while we were knitting. And the quote, we happened to listen to the scene where the quote is from, where it's Moist, the main character is called Moist von Lipwig. And he has a weird night with the Postman's Guild. And he's like, the next morning, his guard... I don't want to give too much away, but his guard, let's say, is telling him about what happened last night. And he was like, oh, the men were so impressed that you did this and you said you did this. And he's like, did I do anything last night that suggested I was sane? It was awesome. I love Terry Pratchett's brain.
I do too.
Love Terry Pratchett's brain. And it's a cool gold color because he gets given his uniform that came with the post that he'd been assigned, and there's a hat that has golden wings.
It's a golden hat with golden wings.
Yeah, and then boots with golden wings as well. And then Mr. Pump tries to find him a suit that will be suitable to the post. So he has a friend who works in the costume department make him a gold suit with a gold tie, and it's just so the gold yarn had to be called Going Postal.
Gold yarn had to be when we both separately watched the same TV show.
I watched it one night, told her she had to watch it.
Well, probably more than one night. It was a 6-episode. Shetland. We've watched it before, but the new season came out on Netflix.
And it's based on the Anne Cleeves novels.
Set in Shetland. It's about a detective, Jimmy Perez. They're fabulous.
They
I haven't actually read the books. I kind of want to.
I want to. We don't have the first one in right now, but
you don't have to read those ones in order, I don't think.
No, they're very much standalone.
But they did such an amazing job with the TV series.
And amazing actors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Douglas Henschel is fabulous. And then I love I guess the main female character, Tosh. Yeah. Which means I love two TV characters named Tosh.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Tosh from Torchwood too.
Yes. Yes, fabulous.
Did you ever watch the end of Torchwood?
No, the American season?
No, the last season of the regular ones with the children.
Yes, I watched that. We watched it together.
Oh, okay.
Remember I cried over something that happened near the end?
Well, I remember you crying a lot.
And said, I am never watching Torchwood again.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. And that was the end of it, yeah.
And I never watched the final season.
Yeah. You cry over watching the weirdest. She cries at watching the winning goal in the women's hockey game.
Okay, so heartfelt things tend to get to me, like tears-wise, more than like sad things.
Yeah.
But occasionally sad things just hit me so hard and I just bawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
But sometimes just
often it's
women
like,
on a podium because they won a hockey game is also tear-inducing.
Yes, yes. And okay, so I've been watching Hallmark movies. Still, again, I don't know.
Or every once in a while I hear like music wafting from her bedroom and it's like, oh, Christmas music. She's watching Hallmark movies again.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just haven't been in the mood to watch anything. Like I get on Netflix and I look through everything and I'm like, nothing. It's just not what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
So I've been watching, well, I've had Hallmark movies on the TV while I crocheted. I can't even tell you the name of any of them. I mean, they're all such generic names. It's like reading Harlequin novels.
Yeah. Or like the PBS after school specials that you used to watch as kids. Like they all kind of blend into each other.
Yeah. But anyway, they're cute and, you know, I know they'll be happy you want to share my blankie.
I do. It's getting cool. Oh, I made her turn off the heater because I was hot and now I'm getting not so hot.
But yeah.
Don't you think I'm hot?
That's what I've been watching, and yeah, my culture this last couple of weeks has been pathetic.
Mine has been mostly Ravelry sourced culture.
Oh, I watched some QI as well.
Oh yes. When I asked you what you were cackling about.
Oh, I love Sandy Toxvig.
She's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, and Alan Davis. And everyone they have on it.
So he does the commercial now for BritBox, which is a subscription service and he's talking to the viewers while there's a TV in the background playing a bunch of British shows and talking about this service and how you can watch all the great, you know, detective shows or funny shows. And then at the end, it shows him in, what was it called? Jonathan Creek. It shows him about 25 years ago in a show called Jonathan Creek, where he was a magician turned detective?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, sure. That sums it up. A magician turned detective. And not like a Harry Potter magician, a like Houdini musician. Magician turned detective.
Anyway.
If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious.
Makes a cute pun about, you know, there are good looking guys on and then it's him
yeah.
20 years ago.
Truthfully, he looks better now than he did 20 years ago.
I think so.
There was an episode of QI where they started out posing as paintings, and so he was wearing a suit because of that. And I was like, hey, he looks really good.
Yeah.
Suit, and his hair's really gray now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun show.
Yeah.
I don't know that it'd stand the test of time, but
probably
it was a fun
show.
But he did one. Okay. Good housekeeping.
Oh God.
It was basically there was a book he had read. He was a stay-at-home dad while his wife was the career woman, and they split up. But he had this book that he kind of lived by, and it was about keeping like 50s style housewife duties. Like he took that to heart. Like he made sure there was always, you know, fresh meal out of the oven as his wife got home, and he took care of the kids, and like he was part of the women's like you know, knitting circles and like all the stuff in the community. He did that stuff. But then he wants to keep the house when they split, and he doesn't have the money because he's not really employable.
He hasn't worked in
the entire like 15 years since his kids were born.
Yeah.
So he has to very quickly find means of income to keep the house his kids grew up in, because he has custody of the kids, and he wants to keep them there in a stable environment and stuff. And oh my God, it's so funny. Like seeing this man being a 50s housewife, frilly apron and all. Like it's but he doesn't wear pearls or heels.
No, but it is. I have no idea even where you would find it now.
You might be able to find it on Netflix, or I mean on YouTube.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it was so hysterical. It was.
He also did a really, really good show called Strange, which was where he was a priest, and it was all about like banishing demons.
Well, investigating demons, but then it becomes like he's a priest, but he's a researcher, and he gets so caught up in this research about demons that they actually excommunicate him.
Yeah.
And so it's just about his life. Then somebody finds out that he had researched this, and she seeks him out because of that.
It's that was really good. I have no idea where you find that either. I've watched a lot of good things.
A lot of obscure British.
Yes.
Maybe on BritBox.
Maybe.
Okay, we should totally get it.
Maybe we should.
Or Acorn. Acorn has a lot of British stuff.
It does.
Too.
We can check out Shell's subscription of Acorn and see what.
We need a British TV subscription service.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Obviously.
We both love British TV.
Oh, Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Lewis is one of my faves.
Yeah. And it was so much better than Morse. Or Inspector Morse.
Morse. It was, yeah. Yeah, well, they were also older. By the time we watched them, they were very, really dated.
Very dated and sort of...
Have you watched Endeavour? Which is the ones about Morse when he was young?
Watched the first season. Is there a new one?
Oh, there's like four or five.
Oh, okay. I've only seen the first season.
It's fabulous. I can't remember the guy who plays him. I can't remember his name, but he's great. Yeah. And
but his like Morse?
Morse's sergeant is Roger Allam, who is amazing.
He's Douglas on Cabin Pressure. If we have we talked about that?
Oh yes, we have talked about Cabin Pressure. BBC radio show by John Finnemore, starring.
It was on BBC 4.
Pretty much every radio show.
Oh.
Yeah. Starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Roger Allam, Stephanie Cole, and John Finnemore.
Yeah.
It's the best radio show ever. It has won like every award.
Yeah. It was amazing. Like, I don't get the Cumberbatch craziness, but he was amazing in that.
Cumberbatch is an amazing actor.
Yes. Oh God, the range he can play is amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, Doctor Strange was really good.
I haven't watched that one.
I'm not big into superhero. This is a big stream of consciousness.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Doctor Strange.
I don't really like stuff too.
Superhero movies.
Yeah,
I loved Doctor Strange. Like, it was just weird enough to fit the bill for my B-movie tastes.
Oh, okay.
But like still good action and superhero-y.
But yeah, no, Cumberbatch is very good at what he does, and he picks good roles.
Yes.
But Roger Allam is hilarious in Cabin Pressure, and John Finnemore is just my hero.
I love his brain. I love his brain.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so this is how I find things for us to watch, because I go, so-and-so, let's say Roger Allam is a great actor, let's find everything else he's ever done, and then I come across some really weird ones.
Weird, obscure ones, and then she gets turned off and goes on to the next actor.
But I also go, oh my God, I didn't actually realize that Roger Allam was my Javert.
Right. He was in Les Mis when you watched it.
Well, not when I watched it. I've never actually... Have I seen Les Mis?
Or in your soundtrack?
Yes. When I got introduced to Les Mis, it was just
because we went to see it in Calgary.
Yeah, so that definitely wasn't Roger Allam. He was the original London Javert, like, for all the previews and, like, building the role and everything. Yeah. And then in London. So the soundtrack to Les Mis, which I discovered somewhere between grade 10 and 11 and
listen to constantly.
No, between 11 and 12. Yeah, and like knew every word too, long before I ever saw Les Mis. He was my chauffeur. Oh. And I've never seen the movie Les Mis because...
I haven't either.
No, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe?
I've been watching Orange is the New Black. Hey? I didn't talk about it because I've been watching a couple of episodes all the time. But in this episode that I watched last night, they actually start singing. The prison that they're in gets bought out by a private contractor. And they're basically cutting all the guards and like cutting all the money towards it, right? Because they want to make it more profitable. And
profitable jails.
I know, but
yeah.
that's a huge thing in the States.
I know it is.
Actually, in a lot of places around the world.
Yeah.
But so the assistant warden goes to the bar and sees basically all his staff there, and they're talking about trying to start a union because the company that bought over the prison, in their contract, it says that they are no longer part of the union that they had been a part of.
Okay.
So they're trying to create their own to try and get a little bit more power, at least locally, to fight for, you know, not getting their hours cut randomly. And they try to ask the assistant warden if he can help them because he knows sort of some of the things that a union rep would need. And then one of the guards starts singing the Revolution song from Les Mis.
Red. I'm not going to sing.
Yeah, I'm not going to either.
Okay. Very cool. That's hilarious.
And then, like, one by one, you see there's about 10 of them there, and one by one, they all start singing this song. It's so awesome. It's a good show. Like, I have to be in the right mood for it. I swore I would never watch it, but I really like it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's got Janeway.
It does.
Catherine Mulgrew.
She plays Red. Actually, her character's really fun. She's the wife of somebody who ran a little delicatessen, and they got involved, like they were not doing well financially, and so they started getting involved with being a drop point for a Russian mob family, and she ends up going to jail for it. Anyway, it's really fun. I'm on to, I think, season 3 or 4 now. Yeah, I'm really liking it.
So for all, we were like, oh, we haven't really watched it. We talked lots about many, many different shows.
Yes, not all that we watched this week. Many of them that we watched years ago.
Many that we've watched over and over and over again, or listened to over and over again. Cabin Pressure.
If you
can download it off iTunes, it's fabulous.
And worth every penny. Like, buy them, you will listen to them again and again and again and again. They're
And then you will understand things like the lemon is in play.
The lemon is in play. I've got to nail that.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think you're right.
I'm running out of energy, so I think that's as long as I can podcast today, too.
Pretty yarn.
Mine's pretty, too.
Awesome blankie.
You can't have it back. Don't try to lift it up higher. I'm like hugging it because I'm cold.
Yeah, we should turn the heater back on. But.
Thanks for joining us, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. We've been tossing around the idea of a live podcast so that you can, basically, for us, it's the same.
Interact with our freakiness?
Well, we'll talk and yammer as we would, but we'll stop and pause if anybody has a question, or basically you can chat with us while we're recording.
We'll try.
It'd be fun. I feel like it's so fun to see comments from the podcast, whether they're here or on Ravelry or on Instagram. I've gotten a couple recently on Instagram feedback from the podcast saying, you know, thanks for this tutorial or whatever. So it's always nice. It makes us feel like you like us as much as we like doing this, and that's always nice.
We're still confused, but
yeah.
Then there's people like Rebecca, who, she's our friend, and she just started watching the podcast a couple weeks ago and has caught up.
Yeah.
You're crazy. Crazy.
That's why we like her. She's like us.
She is just like us.
Actually, I think Rebecca and I are more alike than I had realized for a long time. We have some similar...
They're both nuts.
We have some similar complexions.
But yeah. So, yeah. Here's another podcast.
anyway, yeah, probably not the next one will be live, but maybe the one after that. So
the other one after that would be like
just before Christmas.
Just before Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, or maybe when we get back from Christmas, we'll see.
Yeah.
Talk about our Christmas
like a New Year's
gifts. Because I ordered a Christmassy gift.
I know, and I figured out who you ordered it from.
Oh, that.
Oh, not that.
Well,
I'm assuming it's a Christmassy gift, since you won't tell me what it is.
Okay, so MrSnapThat posted, so Gingersnap, yarns and bags and all of that. Kim's husband is MrSnapThat, Colin, and he dyes the sock blanks. And he posted one this week, and it was like a riot of colors, and they were sparkly unicorns. And I was like,
did you order that for me?
I was like, Cindy's gonna love this. But then I couldn't get the e-transfer to go through on my phone.
She used my bank account to buy me a present. Oh, you bought me a present.
So I bought you a sock blank.
Well, now I have to get you something.
No. But you might get it after Christmas because of the Canada Post stuff.
Nah.
But,
it won't take a month.
But I ordered something for me is what I was going to say.
Really? What did you order for you?
I ordered a spinning wheel.
You ordered it?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
I ordered an Ashford eSpinner 3. And so it says that they ship from their shop, which is in Canada. It's in Ontario, if they have it in stock. If not, it ships from Ashford themselves, which is in New Zealand. Yeah. So if they have it in stock, I might, maybe, very slim chance, get it before Christmas.
Yeah.
If not, it'll be February before I get it, but I'm excited.
Hopefully soon people outside of Canada will be able to send us mail or else.
Yeah. Well, they still can. It's just going to sit in a container at one of the main international postal sorting facilities.
Well, no, a lot of them aren't, like Hong Kong Post or China Post or whatever it is. It just isn't shipping to Canada.
Yeah.
Royal Mail is just collecting everything and holding it.
Yeah, some are returning to sender, because China Mail, I had ordered a little knickknack for myself from a Chinese shop, and they said it was returned to them, and that they would send it again once China Mail would take it. So yeah, spinning wheel.
I haven't ordered any. You bought a phone and a spinning wheel recently. You're feeling flush.
I've been doing
really well.
You have been
selling so much jewelry.
I do aromatherapy blends. I started doing them after I started making soap, because I had all these essential oils and I had blends and scent blends that I really liked. So I started doing aromatherapy blends, and then I brought in some diffuser necklaces and bracelets and stuff to diffuse them. And I've been doing really well with both. Like, I've been selling a lot of the blends. I have to order some more essential oils because I'm running out and can't make more of 3 of my most popular blends right now. So and hopefully they'll be delivered soonish. Yeah,
we'll survive.
We may have slightly less stock just before Christmas than we usually do.
We'll always have plenty of books.
Yes. And I can make some of the other stuff.
So many books.
But yes, I'm excited. I'm going to be spinning lots. I have a substantial spinning stash, so I'll be continuing to spin on my existing wheel until the new one comes. And I'm thrilled about that. So Cindy's going to hide behind her blankie.
I'm going to get hair in my eye. Yeah.
I'm going to cut my hair this afternoon. You don't need to know that. I feel like my hair is getting really long.
She's so strange.
Okay, look. It touches my ears.
At least you don't have wings.
Red Bull gives you wings. Have you been drinking Red Bull?
Oh, no. Gross.
Once I cut it short, I realized I like it really short. Like, when I cut it, I line up my fingers here, and that's my cut line. Like, the height of my fingers. So it's more than double the length that I like best. So it needs a cut. She's patting my head. I think that makes it time to go so that you don't see what's coming next.
My flabby arms just... Sorry. Hi! Bye! Oh, she's gonna punch me. That's why she has to turn off the camera.
Bye!
Bye!